right, give me just one moment, Taina, and I'm going to open it up for everybody.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We online? All right. Welcome, everyone. We've had a little bit of some technical difficulties, so really appreciate your patience. Is everybody good to go? Are you excited to graduate now that you're in? All right, that's good to hear. So essentially, we are here to get through this process, and we are about to graduate you all. So I want to start off by saying my name. My name's Taina, and I think, do you all hear an echo? Okay, so we're going to get started. My name's Taina, and I'm a training specialist. And there are 2 classes here today, so we're going to just go ahead and dive in. But I just want to say congrats on moving through this process. I'd like to introduce Emily, a fellow trainer.
Hi, everyone. So actually, I do know you all because I've either facilitated or co-facilitated your group. So very excited. Thank you so much for your patience at the beginning there. So because we're a bit behind, we'll get started straight away. And I'm very pleased to be able to welcome to our first ever graduation with us and introduce you all to our new CEO, Charity Chandler Cole.
Hello and welcome, CASA LA volunteers. I was just thinking earlier how exciting it is for me to join this village of amazing and dynamic people during National Volunteer Month. So how cool is that, right? And at CASA LA, our volunteers are really the backbone of our organization, and we cannot do the work we do without you. So thank you so much for your contributions to our youth and for generously donating your time and your talents to help positively change the life of these amazing children. The work our volunteers do really goes beyond advocating on our kids' behalf in court and in schools and other settings. You have the ability to provide experiences that affirm their worth and value in this world. You have the ability to empower them to be the best versions of themselves, despite what the world, statistics, and others have told them and shown them that they're capable of. Your role as a consistent advocate and even a friend in their life is so important. And I am personally so grateful that you have decided to embark on this new and very rewarding chapter of your life. I want to encourage you all through this experience, though, to always seek out new knowledge, new information, and to understand the cultural context and histories of the youth you interact with. I ask that you be intentional about knowing and learning about their backgrounds, the communities they come from, the historical, racial, and societal barriers, burdens, and circumstances they and their families have had to endure that brought them to this moment in time so that you can make healthy and sound decisions and recommendations and build relationships that are not rooted in bias or made based off of personal judgments and assumptions, well-intentioned or not, but are birthed out of equity, deep love and care with the goal of making them whole. So thank you again so much for stepping up to the plate to advocate for our youth. Congratulations on completing your training during COVID and in this virtual space. And I look forward to working with all of you. And know that I'm a cheerleader and supporter and very approachable. So I'm here if you ever need anything or want to talk about anything or bounce anything off me. And I'm just excited to see the amazing work all of you will do.
Thank you so much, Charity. Wonderful words there. So before we just dive straight into the swearing in, just a couple of housekeeping. So just make sure that your videos are on throughout and keeping yourself muted until you're directed by the judge to unmute. A little reminder with the staff, just make sure that you turn off your videos when they are being sworn in, and then obviously turn them back on after. If you have any tech issues, feel free to privately message me and I'll assist where I can. And yeah, let's get started. So I'd like to introduce Judge Zeidler to you, who will be swearing you in today.
And I think I know half of you from your class, and welcome back to you and congratulations to all of you. And I really want to build on what Charity just talked about, because so much of what we do here in the Children's Court and the child welfare system is in many ways deeply rooted in the issues surrounding Black Lives Matters. And we're dealing with a population, many of which have already had disproportionate interactions with social workers and government agencies. And we have issues that make it harder to get kids placed with relatives if the relative has had an arrest or a police interaction. So it's really important that you're keeping in mind where the families we're working with and the children you're working with are coming from in terms of their life experience. One thing I've been asking a lot of my friends lately, and I didn't mean to start on this track, but I'm kind of there right now. And one of the things I've been asking a lot of my friends lately, especially after the Army soldier in uniform was pulled out of his car and pepper sprayed, is I've been asking my friends, how many of us, when we've been pulled over by the police, unless it was suspected alcohol use, have ever been made to get out of our car, let alone had a gun held to our head? And when you start thinking about the population that we're dealing with, who often that is their life experience, you understand the reticence they might have to having more people get involved in their lives, the reticence they have to answering to authority and to submitting to authority. And for our kids, many of whom have problems of their own, behavioral, mental health, developmental, and otherwise, not to mention their family members, it's really important to keep this in mind and be as open to them as we can. So that was a really different start than I would usually have. I want to thank all of you to committing to this volunteer work. You have a judge here for a few minutes. I know that some of you had a really great county counsel who used to be in my courtroom for years speak to your class. You've finished your training, you've gone through it all. Do any of you have any questions that have not yet been answered while you have a judge sitting here? Feel free to unmute. I will say that what I've already probably discussed with the other class is that one of the things you need to be aware of when writing your reports is making sure that you're really clear about what recommendations you are making to the court as to what orders the judge can make to have services put in place for the child, specific court orders for what DCFS needs to be doing to enroll them in something, to look into something. And the other thing I would also push you for, which is related to the beginning of the presentation, is to really be checking your own assumptions and your own values and what you're putting onto this child or this family. And while I have you, I'll probably tell you one or two success stories. You're not going to necessarily have complex cases. You might have a case where the issues are some very simple education decisions that need to be made and involved for the child. It might be some issues around placement or making sure they're in the right mental health services. But you also might have some cases which are much more complex. And someone from the class I already spoke to, tell me if I already told you any stories. If I told you about a kid named Dodger. Emily
No,
said,
you held off.
I held off because you told me there'd be two classes.
Yeah.
So, and you're about to swear to confidentiality. And the reason I tell this story is because there have already been newspaper articles about this child. Dodger was severely physically abused when he was a couple of years old and was in the hospital when his first CASA got on the case. And at some point that CASA got off and another CASA got on. And the CASA, Jan, she would visit CASA, and Dodger was in a hospital placement, a medical placement. It wasn't clear if he'd ever be able to walk again. He didn't have a lot of upper arm mobility. And Jan would visit in the hospital. Jan, the CASA, would go to the meetings with the doctors and make sure she understood everything going on with him and what types of options she had. At some point, a potential adoptive mom was identified out of state in Illinois, and Jan started making sure that she was in those meetings either by speakerphone or just getting her on her iPhone and turning on the speaker there. At some point, the adoptive mom came out to visit Dodger and spend time here. And it was the CASA whose research identified a gait trainer, an assisted walking device to help him with his gait and his walk. And she identified how he was eligible, how to get it approved, all of those things. Eventually, Dodger was adopted in Illinois. We did his adoption finalization by FaceTime, before all of us were using Zoom and everything else, FaceTime. There was an iPad that either his CASA or Lynn Gabriel had. And in Illinois, in that house, there were Dodger banners all over the house. I always say it was Dodger Day in Illinois. His CASA stayed in touch with him. She shared with me when he was about 10 or 11 years old, a photo of him walking with leg braces on a Tommy Hilfiger runway in New York. His CASA, Jan Miller, passed away about 1.5 years, 2 years ago from cancer. And when my husband and I were visiting her at her house, we FaceTimed with, his name's no longer Dodger, but we FaceTimed with him. And at that point, he was now playing sled hockey, where he sits in a sled. They actually, because of his upper strength, they actually attach the hockey stick to the glove. Someone pushes him in the sled while he plays hockey. While we were talking in Illinois, he was preparing to go to Florida for an ice hockey tournament. He had met a couple of members of the U.S. Paralympics hockey team and had autographed jerseys. And this was a kid who, because of his CASA, not only got the things he needed to give him a better life, but also got the confidence to believe that he could do anything that he had the abilities to do, and he had the abilities to do a lot more than anyone else might ever imagine. So that is one incredibly successful CASA story. And the other one that I'm going to tell you a little more briefly is a child who was 9 years old, in and out of group homes at the age of 9, mildly autistic with anger issues. And that CASA, who met him as a 9-year-old, got him involved in the Boy Scouts programs, got involved in activities. She would ask me for 1 million orders, and the one order she asked for that I always made was that the department ensured that he was transported to his Boy Scout meetings. No matter how far he was moved, group home, foster home, transported to the Boy Scout meetings. There was actually a den mother who became interested. The CASA got her approved for transporting. The CASA got her approved for placement. When we finally closed the case, we didn't close it out totally. We closed it because he turned 18 and became a non-minor dependent. He and the foster family had moved up to the Bay Area. His Eagle Scout project was the USS Hornet Aircraft Carrier Museum in Alameda County, which is open to the public, and as a chapel that's open to the public on Sundays. They had these really horrible, 3 airport chairs. He built 8 gorgeous wooden pews as part of his Eagle Scout project, and his Eagle Scout ceremony was on the USS Hornet Aircraft Carrier Museum. My husband and I, his CASA and her husband, flew up to Alameda County for his Eagle Scout ceremony. And when it came time to have his Eagle Scout badge put on, it wasn't a den person, it wasn't another Eagle Scout. The person who put on his CASA, his Eagle Scout badge, was his CASA. He later, at that point, this kid who had been in and out of group homes with anger issues had been holding down a job for a year full-time at either Home Depot or one of those, and later on ended up in the Sea Scouts. And he would still fly down for his 6-month non-minor dependent review hearings, and his CASA would still attend those with him. So you don't have the role of special friend, you have a job as the eyes and the ears of the court to investigate the needs of this foster child or sibling group and follow up on those needs. But in the end, at times you will form a very special relationship with this child. And National CASA has a book of essays by former foster kids who had CASAs. And to a T, each of these stories talks about the social worker changed, the attorneys changed, the judge changed. The one person who was there for me consistently was my CASA. So this program has a long history of CASAs who have stayed with it for 15, 20, 25 years. And one of my worries during the pandemic, where people are looking for volunteer opportunities, is that you're going to be one and done, or in 6 months to 12 months, you're suddenly back full-time in a work environment, and this falls by the wayside. And I really encourage you to think of this as an incredible long-term volunteer opportunity where you have the ability to make such an incredible impact for one child. So on that very serious note, I know some of you have family and friends watching. For the family and friends, you just heard a couple of examples of what these people have volunteered to do and the role they volunteered to take on. Please appreciate that. Appreciate they might not be able to talk to you about a foster child. Appreciate there might be one Saturday where they're not able to do that family event, or that one Wednesday night where they're not available because of the work they're doing with their foster child. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to swear you in. And all of the CASA staff are going to turn off their videos. And all of the new CASAs who are getting sworn in are going to leave on your videos. I go very slowly on the repeat after me. And if I say I state your name, you're going to say I and you're going to state your name. But in the chat will suddenly magically appear the oath for you to have in front of you as you're repeating after me. And so we're going to start with the oath, and then after that, I'm going to talk about confidentiality. And then after we do that, I'm going to one at a time have a chance to congratulate each of you and thank you one-on-one, and have you have a chance to do the shout out to the friends and family. Now that we do this remotely, I do something I didn't do in person, which is make it feel a little more real to you by going with the robe. So here you have the robe. So if all of the new CASAs could please unmute. All of the new CASAs unmute. And please raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Keith Scheuer,
I, Alexis Karen Hagerman,
Do hereby, and you can decide whether you want to swear or affirm, do hereby swear or affirm
do hereby
I
affirm
affirm
that I will truly and faithfully
that I will truly and faithfully
perform the duties
perform the duties
of court-appointed special advocate
of court-appointed special advocate
on all cases
on all
cases
to which I am appointed,
to which
I am appointed.
that I will do so
That I will do
will do so
according to law
according to
the
law
law
and the policies of CASA of Los Angeles,
and the
the
policies
policies of
CASA
of Los Angeles,
and that I will always act
and that
I will always
always
act
act
in the best interests
in
in
the
the
best
best
interest
interest
of the child or children
of the
child or children
children
to whom I'm appointed.
to
whom
whom
am
I am
appointed.
appointed.
Mazel tov.
Mazel
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm gonna have you, I'm gonna have you mute for a minute while I read you the confidentiality information. As court-appointed volunteers, you will have access to dependency court legal files and proceedings. As you know, these files and dependency court proceedings are confidential. You are charged with the responsibility of upholding the confidentiality of these cases. You are not to discuss these cases nor reveal the identity of these children with any persons other than those individuals who are rightly involved in the case. This would include those court personnel, social workers, family members of the child, not your own, attorneys, or other professionals assigned to the case. So I'm going to have you unmute again, please. And when I say swear or affirm, you can either swear or affirm. Please raise your right hands again and unmute and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly
solemnly
affirm
affirm
to uphold the confidentiality
to uphold the confidentiality
of the information contained in the legal files
of the
information
information
contained in the legal files
The information contained in legal files
and all other case information
and all other
all other
case
case
information
information
comes to my attention
that comes to my
attention
come to my attention
during the course of my work
during
the course of my work
as a court-appointed special advocate.
as a court-appointed special
advocate.
Congratulations again. Woohoo! Mute again. You can all cheer each other. This is the most delayed Zoom I have ever seen, and I don't think it is my feed. There are lots of congratulations from your trainers and CASA staff in the chat. Congratulations to all of you and welcome to the best volunteer work you could ever have. If we were here in person, I would call your name, you'd come up, I'd hand you a certificate, we'd take a really nice picture together, I'd have your family members come up, they'd take a picture. The last time we did that was over a year ago when we actually did an elbow bump and stood kind of like this while we took the picture. So I'm going to call your name individually, and when I call your name, please unmute, and I'm going to have you you can pick either tell us how you found out about CASA or tell us what you do for a living, and then also let us know if you have anyone watching that you want to say hi to. So first up is Sophia Ambergy.
Hi, Sophia here. I heard about CASA, I think via social media, and I actually do have some family right here with me.
That's great. Hi, family. Congratulations, Sophia.
Thank you.
Social media, was it, what's her name? What's her name? I just totally blanked on her name.
I can't remember. I think it was just on an Explore page posting or something like that. It was very chance.
That's great. Welcome.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bruce Anderson.
Yes, I learned about CASA through a colleague friend of mine who told me about the work that she was doing about a year before I decided that I was going to retire. I'm retired from healthcare ethics and compliance as of last May, and very happy to be here.
That's great. And is she a CASA in LA?
Yes, she is.
What's her name?
Her name is Cynthia Sward.
Great. I don't know her, but I probably do. Congratulations. And anyone watching that you wanted to say hi to?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Lisa Boatner.
Hi. I heard about CASA from one of my friend's parents, who's a CASA in Houston, actually, back in the day. And then when I moved to LA, I was looking online and saw that it came up in Los Angeles.
So you've just been here for how long?
2 years.
Welcome to LA. That's 2 years. That's not just moved to LA. It just took you 2 years to sign up. Congratulations. Thank you. And are they watching in Houston or anyone else?
Yeah, my family is watching.
Hi, family. Congratulations. Thank you. There are a lot of you, 30 something. Anita Cochran Morris.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Fine, thank you. How are you?
I researched being a CASA because I wanted to help with foster children, and I looked for it and found it and was really excited to participate. And happy to be here.
Great. Anyone watching?
I have Hunter here.
Hi, Hunter.
Who's missing a little bit of class to participate. And my parents, sister, and some friends are also watching. So hello.
And is that your wedding picture behind you? Was that?
Oh, yes, it is.
Nice.
Hawaii.
Hawaii wedding, that's the way to go. Congratulations. Hi, mom and parents.
Thank you.
Cerise Dragisevich.
Hi. I found out about it through the LA Times article, probably over maybe last October. And somebody had mentioned it to me before, so I thought I'd look into it. And I also want to thank Kaina and Emily for all their excellent training.
Taina and Emily are awesome. I taught at least one of their classes when they went through the CASA training. The previous director, two of the things she did was have the staff go through the CASA training themselves and held a press conference about the need for CASAs, which resulted in that LA Times article. So there you go. And I'm very optimistic about the new director. She comes with an incredible experience and background, and hopefully some of you will have time to meet her more. Anyone watching?
Not that I know of. I think they're all working hard, and so
You're working hard. Thank you. Congratulations. Rachel Ehrlich.
Hi, I'm Rachel. Nice to meet you. Thank you for doing this virtually. Very excited to be here. I found out about CASA through a friend who actually, I think, graduated in just the class right before me. A friend and coworker. Her name is Nicole Holzberg. And she just told me what an amazing experience it was. We both work at Sweet Green, which is like a salad restaurant. Yep. And so I opened new stores for them as my role, and was really, really closely connected to all of the team members in the field all across the country. And in COVID, I wasn't able to have that connection anymore. So I was really, really looking for a way to continue to make an impact in the lives of youth. And she told me she was doing this, and it's been an incredible experience. So thank you.
You know, I had a foster kid who actually worked at Tender Greens. So maybe you can see about Sweet Greens looking into the same type of internship program that Sweet Greens have with foster kids.
I love that.
And no relation to Steve Ehrlich, the architect?
No relation, but I have seen The Office as I've driven by, and have actually Googled to see if there is any relation, but none that I can find.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Britta Evans.
Hi there. I'm Britta. I found out about CASA about a decade ago through a friend, and my job did not allow me to volunteer at that time. So I'm really excited that I'm able to do this now. It's been in the back of my mind for quite some time. So I'm really happy to be here and happy to have graduated.
Great. Anyone watching?
Not that I know of. Maybe I'll share it later.
Welcome. Congrats. Thank you. And it took some time, but now you're here to stay. Matthew Farrell.
Hey, I'm Matt. Very excited to be here. I learned about CASA. For about 5 years ago, I started mentoring with an organization called Better Youth, and we work with underserved youth that age out of the foster system. And several of the kids I met talked about their CASAs and how, in some cases, they were life-changing. So that kind of led me down the path to learn about CASA. And so here I am.
Great. You know, maybe they need to hook you up with younger kids so that you aren't feeling like you're totally mirroring that other mentor experience, and you get to work with the kid more years in. But we also have a lot of non-minor dependents, 17, 18, 19-year-olds who definitely need CASAs in addition to mentors.
Sure.
And anyone watching?
No, I don't believe anyone's watching.
Okay, congratulations. Thank you. I'm really loving the chat. We have people who have heard of Better Youth, and Michelle's talking about how she actually has had a number of foster youth who she knows who got employed at Tender Green. See, everyone's paying attention at least. Whitney Ferrer.
Hi, I actually heard about CASA from an old college friend of mine who is a CASA in Nashville, Tennessee. And she told me about it last summer. And so I started looking into it and thought it sounded like a great opportunity to make an impact and signed up for the class. And here I am.
That's great. Thank you. Congratulations. Anyone watching?
My husband.
Hi, hubby. Thank you for loaning her to us. One reason why I give the option of what do you do for a living is because every so often there's the one who's like the teacher. So all the rest of you now have someone to go to for education issues, or the one who's in entertainment and you have that kid who wants something in that field or something. Evan Friedman.
Oh, hello. I found out about CASA actually in college. My sorority was fundraising for CASA, and I thought that it sounded like a beautiful service, but I wanted to make sure I had my feet on the ground before I jumped in to help out. So I'm really happy to be here.
And which sorority?
Kappa Alpha Theta. The
Okay.
kites.
You want me to do
Yeah.
a shout out to the kites. I can't even believe I have to do that. And my bandwidth is low. Avery Garrett.
Hi, I'm Avery. I'm actually an MSW student, so I heard about CASA through people at school, and I'm trying to convince everyone to join. So,
Where do you go to school?
USC.
Great. And are you in the CalSWIC program?
The what?
CalSWIC program?
No.
No. Great program. You get your MSc paid for free if you volunteer. However many years your MSW program is, you have to do that many years in an agency afterwards.
Huh.
And gosh, Michelle, you're like connected to every single thing. So Michelle Newman says she went to USC and got her MSW there. Congratulations. Thank you. Anyone watching?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you. Jody Caston, you got it. You logged on. It worked finally.
It did. I finally got on. I found out about CASA because I run legal programs at the Karsh Community Center through Wishel Boulevard Temple. And we always like to partner with great organizations. So we brought CASA in to speak to our congregants. And when I heard about it, I decided I should jump in.
That's wonderful. And you have my mom's cookbooks, right?
Yes, I do.
Just making sure. Gourmet Jewish Cookbook, Judy Zeidler. She knew who I was talking about.
You know what? Elizabeth Green told me about your family.
There you go. Thank you very much for your volunteering. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alexis Karen Hagerman, you also got back in.
I did. Yes. Thank you for having me. I found out about CASA from a colleague and friend who actually is still yet to go through the training process, but she will do it soon. And I've been encouraging her since being involved. And I work in the art world for an art gallery. If anyone ever has any questions about art programs or things for their CASAs, I would be very happy to give input.
Wonderful. What art gallery?
It's called Karma. It's actually based in New York, but I'm their LA person. So yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations. Everyone heard that, right? If you've got a foster kid who wants to go into art, you heard it right there. Our summer project was we just had a triptych painted to put on in our backyard by I just totally blanked. Peter Shire's daughter just did a triptych for us.
Oh, I know Peter. Great.
I know Peter.
Yeah.
His 40-year-old daughter just had her first art show, so we commissioned her to do a piece. There you go.
Oh, amazing. I'll look at her work. Thank you.
Anytime. Ava Shire, avashire.com. Ritu Kumar.
Hi, I'm Ritu. I found out about CASA because my sister is a CASA in LA. Her name is Debbie. She just actually finished her training last summer, so she's just started the process. And I am a physician, if anyone needs anything with that. And I'm excited to be here.
Wow, a physician getting involved with CASA, you're in so much trouble now. Thank you so much. Everyone's going to be reaching out to you. And is your sister watching?
No, it's pickup time for her kids. So
thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Michael Natalizio, and I know Michael Natalizio has a very delayed feed because he was being sworn in one sentence after everyone.
Sorry about that. Yes, so I heard about CASA through a website called volunteermatch.org. I was just looking to volunteer my time, and the opportunity really jumped out at me because, first of all, I spent my summers in college, or working at a day camp with like 3 to 5-year-old kids, and just like being able to be hopefully like a vehicle for a positive change in someone's life is really awesome. So hopefully I can continue that in CASA, and just a quick shout out to my mom watching.
Hi, Mom. Which college?
I went to Ohio State, but I grew up here.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mom. You did okay. Julie Nguyen.
Hi, I'm Julie. I learned about CASA through a neighbor of mine, actually, who was thinking about joining the program, but it was like too much of a time commitment for her. And we were just having a conversation about how we could better serve others, and CASA came up. That night, I watched the introduction video and filled out the application, and then everything went very, very quickly after that. So excited to be here. Congratulations to all my fellow CASA graduates, and excited to see what happens next.
And is she watching?
No, she's not. She's on a conference call, but I ran over to have my my oaths printed out. So she said a quick congratulations. But
great. Congratulations. Thank you. Who's this one? Vanna Nichols Julian?
Hello, I'm Giovanna, and I heard about CASA because Wendy Julian, who Judge Seidler mentioned as the previous CASA of LA CEO, is my mother. And so now that I'm no longer the boss's daughter, I'm excited to build my own relationship with CASA. And so Wendy's watching. She says, hello, Judge Seidler. I'm very excited to be here.
And I haven't seen you since her retirement party or surprise. And your CASA graduation gift from me, although I have not cleared it with him, is 1 free opera coaching session with my husband whenever you want it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And hi, Wendy. We missed you already. Well, Charity was great. Very excited about Charity. That was not about, never moving on. Lynn Prushian. Lynn Prushian.
Hi, I'm Lynn. Thank you very much for doing this. I'm so excited to be here. I learned about CASA in 2012 while I was doing jury duty. And so it was one of the
box saying you wanted to donate your mileage to something.
It was when you were sitting in the waiting room waiting to be called, and they were showing it on the screen, and I was moved, but not at a point in my life where I could dedicate the amount of time I expect it will take, and I'm at that place now in my life. It has been on my list. I'm excited that I'm finally going to be able to do this.
Great, thank you. And anyone watching?
I do have, I invited my daughters and my boyfriend, and hopefully they're able to watch.
Great, I hope they are. And I love the courtroom background. It's like meant to be.
Thank you.
You thought about it. Next one works with one of my favorite people in the whole world. The next one is Joan Riley.
Hello. I actually work for the state level CASA program, California CASA Association. And CASA's mission is very close to my heart because my mom was in the foster care system back in Ireland.
Wow, that's incredible. And do you have anyone watching today?
Not live. I hope to send them a link and maybe watch it with them.
I am a big fan of the executive director of Cal CASA, and I'm very dear friends with retired Judge Isaacson, who's one of my favorite. Yeah.
Incredible honor to work with them both.
Thank you. Congratulations. And you're like, I love the office background. You got the Everyday Heroes CASA logo right there, everyone.
I do. I just came from a board meeting.
Next up is Reagan Revere.
I'm so happy to be here. I heard about CASA in 2014 after the Gabriel Fernandez case was in the LA Times, and felt inspired to do something, but I was pregnant at the time, not knowing when I first started. So slight detour, but back again. I work for the LA Philharmonic, so anybody who's interested in music, children's music education, would love to offer any resources that I might be able to offer.
Wow. So what do you do with the LA Phil?
I do music production and development.
That's wonderful. Wow. Welcome. Congratulations. And Anyone watching?
I don't think so today.
So do you know Dennis Tremblay?
Yes, they do.
He just retired.
Yes.
My husband has been accompanying him since they were in junior high together.
Oh, I love that. Amazing.
I used to go to this is interesting. I used to go to the Hugger Bowl in the summer with my parents, and one of the bass players had this big beard, and he looked like the lion on the other bass. And I was always mesmerized. And now, decades later, I married him and his wife, and he and my husband grew up together.
I love that.
Congratulations, welcome. Jasmine San Nicholas.
Hello, I am a recruiter, a professional recruiter in the environmental health and safety field. And I've done professional recruiting for about 4 years now. So if anyone's youth want help with resume writing or interview prep, I would love to be a resource for that. I heard of CASA because last year I applied to volunteer with 5 Acres, but they found that there was a conflict of interest since my family has some involvement with them, and they referred me to CASA instead. So,
wow, welcome. Any family watching?
Yes, my mom is watching, my sisters, my nephews, my niece, and especially my godchild, Leo.
You know what? These moms did okay. I'm very excited. Congratulations. This is like a great group. We've already got one with medical knowledge, one who can help with resume writing and all of that stuff. It's very exciting. Thank you for throwing that out there. Keith Scheuer.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, pleasure to meet you. I learned about CASA from a friend of a friend who had been a volunteer, and I had just retired, and seemed like a noble thing to do, a good thing to make the world a better place.
Perfect. And should I ask what you retired from?
I used to be a lawyer.
Wow.
A business litigator.
So you're not retired, you're in recovery.
I am. That's quite right.
And anyone watching?
No.
Okay. Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
The different side of the law. Sherry Schanfeld.
Hi, I'm Sherry. And I learned about CASA through a friend of mine who is actually a CASA for the past year and a half. I'm a mom of 2. I was lucky enough to be a stay-at-home mom, and my younger one is autistic. And what I learned helping him through the system, I realized there are a lot of kids that don't have a stay-at-home mom that can't do that. So I felt that if I could help one child, I'd be happy. So I'm here because I just want to help children.
Wonderful. There used to be a staff member at the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges who, when her son was very young and got diagnosed with Asperger's, she eventually left and started a blog called autismmom.com with incredible resources. It's just amazing how much you can do for your own child and then take that information and share it.
Yes.
Anyone watching?
I believe my husband, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for donating. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next up is Sherry Shogie.
Hello. So I heard about CASA. I had recently watched the Gabriel Fernandez documentary, and then I was like, what can I do? And probably 2 days later, I saw the LA Times article. So I was like, this is a sign. This is what I can do. And I work with all 116 California community colleges in different capacities and high schools. So if you all need support through the bureaucracies of community colleges, I can definitely help.
And you probably learned this in your trainings, but all of our community colleges and the Cal States and UCs have programs on their campuses for former foster youth. And if you just go to cacollegepathways.org, California College Pathways, cacollegepathways.org. You can get the contact information, find out what they're eligible for, and now you have one more resource sitting right here.
And a lot of untapped resources go, yeah.
I just participated in giving out public interest fellowship for the Women Lawyers Association of Los Angeles, and one of the 3 law students who got it has gone from community college to Harvard Law School.
Nice.
There you go. Next up is Matthew Skoll.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I am probably the education expert in the group. I don't know about expert, but I'm a school principal. So, and that sort of led me into looking for things to volunteer. And this one involves kids, and that's always been my passion, helping kids. And so that's how I ended up with CASA.
Great. Were you a principal?
LA Unified.
Wonderful. What school?
In Chandler Elementary in Sherman Oaks.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations. Anyone watching?
No.
Wow. So you're still working as a principal and doing this as a volunteer gig.
Yes.
That is kudos. That's pretty different. Usually it's once the educators retire that we find them. This is really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Isabella Sledge.
Hey, I'm thrilled to be finally through with all the hoops, and we're finally at this point. Like Ritu, I'm also a physician. I'm an internist, and I heard about CASA from a friend who was a CASA in Louisiana, where I used to live. And after I retired from my job there in biotech and moved here to LA, I finally have a little bit more time in my schedule to be able to volunteer.
Great. Thank you very much. And I see your family behind you in the pictures. Anyone watching?
Oh, I have my therapy dog here who never leaves. This is Kepler. He's always watching. He's attended all of the training as well.
So you're going to do it as a team?
Well, I think the four-legged kind are not welcome as a CASA, but he would love it. He goes to hospitals.
Downstairs in our shelter care, where we used to have kids brought in for the day from foster homes waiting for their court hearings, every so often they would actually bring in a dog to come and visit and spend time with them. So there you
Well,
go.
he is a certified therapy dog, so.
Okay, did you hear that? She's volunteering to do the courtroom assistant program when we ever reopen. Rebecca Wagman.
Hello, I work at a talent agency in entertainment. I found out about CASA from my boyfriend, who is a CASA in LA. And he's not watching, but I know he's very supportive. And I'm very excited to be here with all of you guys.
That is great. Congratulations. Thank him for dragging you in. Jennifer Wexler.
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
Hi, so excited to be here. I had known about CASA for a few years and had researched it and felt it was an incredible organization, always wanted to do it, but couldn't because of my corporate schedule. And when I started my own company and finally had the time, I committed to it, and I'm so happy I did. And I own a purpose-driven marketing company for anybody who has a CASA who's interested in marketing. Happy to be a resource.
I just had a 8-year-old or 10-year-old boy tell me he's going to be an entrepreneur.
Love it.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Blake Wheelie.
Hi, everyone. Blake Wheelie here. I found out through CASA while reading LA Mag, moping about the loss of my job in international travel focused on cruising last year, which you can imagine was pretty inevitable. I'm a proud member of Teach for America in the past. Education guide too, so anybody who needs advice on guiding your kids through lessons, talking to teachers, whatever, happy to help. And Judge C. Julie mentioned entertainment too. I'm a junior member at the Groundlings, so working through getting up to main stage with them. So if you need some appropriate jokes, let me know in advance that it's for a child, and I'll be happy to provide a few laughs. I've met great people along the way and super excited to finally be through and part of the program. And a special thank you to Emily for helping me arrange Sam in the back of a car unexpected family event. So I apologize if I'm a bit late, but a few folks are watching, friends and family, as we attend an unexpected event. So.
And I have booked my cruise. I just want you to know I have booked my first cruise. I'm very optimistic. September 11th, I will be on a Crystal cruise ship, just round trip Bahamas, because they're the first cruise line coming back because they worked out a deal to just do round trip Bahamas with the Bahama Travel Authority.
Well, thank you for that, because I'm potentially interviewing with them in the next couple of days, so I appreciate the support.
We've only been on 25 Crystal cruises. Okay, good luck with the interview.
Thank you.
They're based out of LA. It's perfect.
That's right.
Okay, next up, I can't not do it. The Legally Blonde joke. Ella Wood.
I was wondering if that would come. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This is
a really exciting day for, I think, everyone on the Hollywood Squares. So super happy. I love my CASA story. So I have a couple of old dogs and one of them moves very slow. There are some other old dogs in my neighborhood, and so I've gotten to know a lot of the neighbors. And one day, one of the other dog moms was wearing a shirt that said CASA. I said, hey, what's a CASA? And she told me, and I immediately came home, looked it up, and applied. So I can't wait to go get my CASA shirt so I can start wearing it and sharing this story.
That is so great. And all of you at some point might get a CASA t-shirt that you will be encouraged to wear on the first Sunday of the month. So when you're out and about, people can ask you about CASA. So there you go. And did you say anyone was watching, or did I miss it?
No one's watching, but I will share the replay. And I'm in banking. I work for JPMorgan Chase, and we have great internship programs. So if you guys have any children that are looking to get into banking services, let me know and I'll see what I can do.
See, I just love this networking. And now I'm looking in the chat, and I missed it that Blake was the Hermione of our class. And of course, everyone's favorite character in the Harry Potter series is Hermione. So I have no idea what the reference is, but I'm very excited. Stacy Yee, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Stacy. I heard about CASA through someone I met actually 2 years ago at a company orientation. They were a CASA in Atlanta, Georgia. And I haven't really talked to them since, but sent them a text this morning telling them I'm getting sworn in today. So I didn't get a chance to start the program right away because I had to finish off grad school, but moved back to LA about a year ago, and I'm excited to get started.
That's great. Congratulations. And so I think today I've heard so far Georgia, Houston, Louisiana, Nashville, all places where people know CASAs who told them something about CASA. Pretty amazing. Anyone watching?
Yes, my husband Greg and my younger sister Samantha.
Hi, Greg. Thank you, Samantha and Greg. And I have to say, the reason why this started 20 minutes late is because that's how much CASA cares about every single volunteer. I went through the whole list, and all of you were here and made it. And I appreciate it. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much for the time and dedication. Thank you to the family members again, and the CASA staff that you are getting to work with. Take advantage of your CASA. We used to call them CASA supervisors. Now they're called something else. But make sure that you're asking them questions. You've got this whole class that you went through it with. You know, you have a whole group you can brainstorm with about what's going on with your CASA case and ideas of what you can be recommending and doing. You're coming into CASA at a very different time. My cross the street neighbor became a CASA a few months ago, and you know, a child in a group home where you're trying to figure out how you're going to meet them through Zoom for that first interaction. This is not an easy time to start interacting and bonding with the CASA child, to get them to open up with you about what's going on in their lives. And I really admire that in this time that is so difficult, you're taking on something to help change the lives of children. So congratulations, and Taina, it's all yours.
One thing, did we forget Hannah Hoffman? Did we call on?
Yes,
Hannah?
sorry. I'm here.
Oh my gosh, I'm really so good with my finger. I just go finger the whole time down the list. Hannah Hoffman, sorry.
No, not at all. Hi, I'm Hannah. So I learned about CASA while volunteering actually for another volunteer group called Reading Partners. It's a literacy program. And I wanted to take on volunteer work that allowed me to have a greater role in a youth life. And so researched CASA and signed up right away.
And what's you're in the art world or what?
I am in the art world. Actually, Alexis and I are colleagues, so we didn't know that we were both doing this at the same time.
Because I see the Murakami book behind you, and the Murakami.
Oh, yes.
Like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, the Murakami exhibit was amazing. At the contemporary, or whatever it was. So you work together. That's great. You can volunteer together even, possibly.
Yes, we work at different galleries, but we know each other well.
And which gallery are you at?
I actually have my own gallery, so it's called Hannah Hoffman Gallery.
Great. Okay, everyone, you heard that. To Art Resources, congratulations. Thank you very much. I apologize I left you off, and it just means that finally the person with the Y didn't have to be last, as said the person with the Z's. And now, Taina, it's all yours.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Everybody, please go ahead and say thank you to Judge Zeidler and unmute yourselves.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to move forward and meet some other people who want to speak with you and talk with you and just share with you more about CASA. So the person who's up is our outreach manager, and her name's Angela Daughtry. Angela, are you here?
I'm actually filling in for Angela as she had another graduation to attend today. She's actually graduating from a program. Hi, everybody. I'm Lynn Gabriel, and I'm the Director of Volunteer Services. I was supposed to speak a little bit later. I didn't realize that that Angela was up next, so I wasn't paying attention. So congratulations. I'm so excited that all of you are here. What an impressive group. I was at CASA for 10 years before coming to work at CASA, and I've been a foster mom, and now I'm an adoptive mom. So I know, one experience of many sides. And you guys, this is going to be the best, hardest thing that you've ever done. And one of our CASAs who has been a CASA for 23 years said, being a CASA is simple. It's just emotionally difficult. So the interviewing people, the writing things down, the writing the report, it's all pretty well laid out for you. It's the actual work, the meeting and the day-to-day that can be tough, but you guys have made it through training with our amazing trainers. So I know that you're going to do a great job, and we need more of you. So we need each one of you to fill your seat. If you have friends, family who are right for this work, please let them know. Please send them our way. We are hoping to serve 3,000 kids in the next 3 years. So we could really use your help in getting us more CASAs. So I'm just so glad to see everybody, and I can't wait to meet you. And a special shout out to Alexis, because I found out through doing paperwork, I've seen all your names, that she lives directly behind me. Small world, but shout out to South Carthage.
Now I know what you look like, so I can say hi.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Len. CASA is a place of connection, so it's great that you found your neighbor. Okay, so another person wants to speak with you, and this is Marie Carpenter. Marie's in development director.
Hi, everyone. Hi. It's just want to say I'm so happy to meet you all. Although it's
your video's off, Marie. Sorry to interrupt you, but your video's off. There you go.
Is it off?
Back. It's back. It's back now.
Oh, okay. So hello. I'm so sorry. I'm on the road. On the way to all the pre-recorded videos that we're doing for our virtual gala. So in any case, it's really nice to see you all and meet you all. So welcome to the CASA family. I'm here to tell you a little bit, and although you may know already, but CASA is a 501c3. So, we used to be funded entirely by the county, and we lost that funding many years ago, almost, I believe, like 8 or 9 years ago. And so now we fundraise on our own. And where we get our funding is, through individuals and through corporations, corporate sponsors, through our events. And then we have a very robust grant program. So what I want to ask you today is, when you're out in the community, to keep your eyes and ears open for any partnership opportunities that would result in additional funding for us. So there are many ways, such as partnering with a local business who can donate a portion of proceeds, or oftentimes where foundations do ask for a direct connection, a personal connection. So you can make those introductions for us, and we can submit a grant. So those are some of the ways that you can help. And then I heard someone say that they found they met their neighbor who's wearing a CASA t-shirt. So, you know, we are really amping up our marketing efforts so that, you know, CASA can be a household name in our community in LA County, when people think about who to give, maybe for year-end giving or for anything like that. So another thing that I mentioned is that we do have our own events. We have two major ones. And so the gala is coming up on May 13th. It is a virtual gala, and I certainly hope it's the very last virtual event that we have had to pivot into, but it's kind of fun too, to be creative. And just, you know, if you are interested in attending or watching, there are different levels of tickets and sponsorships that you'll get a dinner delivered to your home, and you can watch the show that way. And we've partnered with Homegirl Catering, which is really exciting for us to do that. And they have really yummy food instead of your typical rubber chicken dinner that you would have received at the Beverly Hilton. And we have an auction there as well. And then I was really happy to know that there are a couple of you in the art world, because we have an event called Wine and Art. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Well, you know what? Yeah. So Lynn put in the chat, dunk me. So this is one of the things that we've come up with to make it different, unique, a gala. So, you know, unprecedented year, I say this now, an unprecedented year brings an unprecedented virtual gala where there is a dunk tank involved. And some people are raising money to get dunked. And our beloved Lynn Gabriel is one of them. She's volunteered herself, and she is hoping to raise $10,000. And if we get to that goal, she will get dunked. Right, yeah. I mean, well, and maybe some of Lynn's staff wants to dunk her. I mean, I don't know. One of the other folks that we're dunking is our former CEO, Wendy Julian, who, you know, we miss very much. But she's a CASA volunteer still. And you can also choose to dunk her, and she's trying to raise $15,000. So this is just some of the things that we're trying to make unique, so we can raise the funds that we need through our gala and through other events that we have had to cancel, or really doesn't raise the same amount that we would have, if it was in person. So the other event is Wine and Art. And so, right, like I said, a couple of you are in the art world, and you know, this is a very unique event as well, where we showcase over 100 pieces of artwork that will be on sale, and all the proceeds will come to us, the artists. Most of them donate 100% of the proceeds, or oftentimes we sort of, you know, work out a way where we do the split, and we want to, you know, support our local artists. It's a really fun event. It's in downtown LA Arts District, with food and drinks and art. And that is usually in the fall. This year's a little funky. We had it in February, but we did it was really, again, just completely 100% virtual. So yes, I will add my contact info here in the chat, and please, you know, reach out if you have any questions with events or with giving, donations, funding, anything like that. Please reach out, and it's really, you know, welcome again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marie. Okay, so we're very near the very end of graduation. Actually, we're at that time when you get to meet Megan again. And if you all could stick around, I know that you get a chance to meet your advocate supervisors in the breakout rooms. If you're able to stick around and be in the breakout rooms after Megan speaks on who your advocate supervisors will be, please do. And if you absolutely need to go, please let us know. But without further ado, Megan Maddock, our CPO.
Thank you, Tina. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you all again. I'm really thrilled that you're graduating. We had such great discussions in our class groups, and I know you all are going to be the most amazing CASA volunteers, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do on your CASA journey. I really want to encourage you all to stay in touch with me and your supervisor that you'll meet very shortly. But I always love to hear how CASAs do as they're getting started, as you're experiencing your first court hearings, all the ups and downs of being a volunteer. I definitely want to know. So I'll put my information in the chat, and I'd really love to hear from all of you. But there are some really important people on the line, your advocate supervisors, that you'll get a chance to meet. So through the magic of Zoom, you'll do the breakout rooms and you'll meet with them individually, and they'll talk to you about what's next, what it means to be matched with a young person, and how to get started and all of that. So I'm going to shout out all of their names, but you'll get a chance to meet each one of these amazing persons individually, and they have great experience. They're incredibly smart, talented people that help me do my job every day. So I know you'll be in good hands. So on the line, we have Alice and Ben and Melissa and Michelle and Tamara. And then there's a few supervisors who were victim to that terrible Zoom situation earlier and just couldn't get on the line. So if Lauren, Sharonda, and Stephanie, you all will get to be with me for a little bit longer and I'll guide you through. So congratulations. We're super excited to have you, super excited to see you get started, and just congratulations. Welcome to the CASA family.
Thanks, Megan. I want to just thank you all for all the contribution and all the time that you put into this training. And I'm going to keep this short since we have very little time until our 2:30 where you transfer in and speak to your advocate supervisors. But I just, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for all the work you put into these 5 weeks, and so excited to hear about all the things that you all are going to do for the ones who I haven't met and the ones who I facilitated your class. So congratulations. Emily?
Hi, everyone. I'm watching your comments about dunking me. Definitely not me, Lynn. Go with Lynn. But yeah, congrats. I do hope that we get to see each other in person very soon. Look forward to actually meeting you. But yeah, good luck and keep in touch so we can get those breakout rooms open and we can then end the live stream as well. So we're just waiting.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be ending the live stream on my end here. So Kayla, I know you're on the YouTube